Salutations, stereotypical spacemen, Automatic here for Automatic Games. Thanks for joining me for Season 3, Episode 6 of our XCOM 2 series. In our previous installment, Bravo Squad set down on the outskirts of Kansas City to disable an Advent relay, which they did with flying colors. On the end of that operation, they came back with a new recruit in the form of Peter Sandman Two Bears. Although I shouldn't say new recruit, because he bears the rank of colonel. Now on screen, several of the combat personnel are talking with Seejay, commander of Charlie's squad, and they're discussing avenging Major Javier Valdez. Though he didn't die, they're definitely chomping at the bit to get at that Archon King. And not just Charlie's squad by any stretch. Certainly Bravo's squad wants to avenge Reaper, and Alpha Squad, well, they want the Archon King more than anyone else. We've turned our attention to the Proving Ground, where we will initiate research on advanced explosives, in the hopes of making our explosives a little more potent. Yeah, so with that underway,
I'll let you know as soon as the project is ready for deployment.
Let us turn our attention to the geoscape. And we already had our eyes on this landmark in Eastern Europe.
New course.
So we are setting course back over there, where we will resume our scan of that landmark in the hopes of acquiring an engineer. We certainly won't turn down yet another engineer.
We've located one of their facilities.
Okay, so we're getting word of a new Advent facility. I don't know, is that in Indonesia? I think. Either way, we will get to it in time. A few more days remaining on this scan. And there you have it. So we've picked up a new doctor, Dr. Hitomi Nakajima. One way or the other, we picked up a new engineer. And ultimately we'd like to get to this black site in West Asia, I think they want to call it. But in order to do that, we have to make contact with the resistance cell in Eastern Europe, and then another resistance cell out there where the black site is. In order to do that, we need to upgrade our resistance comms. Well, no, not actually upgrade it, because it's already been upgraded, so it's just a matter of staffing another engineer, or in this case, we're just going to put a gremlin there. So now that that has been taken care of, let us turn our attention to the resistance cell in Eastern Europe.
Setting course for Eastern Europe.
And so, of course, this is going to be, around Germany.
Attempting to establish local regional contact.
And just a couple days remaining. But in the meantime, we've concluded our research into advanced explosives, which yields us a more potent EMP bomb and smoke bomb. Good deal, we'll take it. As to our next endeavor, it's going to be the Wraith suit, and that will allow us to actually walk through walls.
I'll send word when the project is complete.
Hence the name, I suppose, Wraith suit. We'll find out how that works in due time.
Priority message coming through, Commander. Putting it on screen now.
Yep, put 'em on.
Leading the resistance is a daunting task, Commander. But your efforts so far have left many wondering if we have made the right approach. We will have to do better.
Not exactly adulation or high praise. Oh well. We will do better. As to dark events, what do we have here? Vigilance. New construction, or Advent Cipher, or Alien Cipher. All bad, no good. And we do have a supply cache out there, a result of our of our meeting with the spokesman.
Can only further our advances, Commander.
Even better,
The aliens aren't going to be happy when they see we've got energy weapons just like theirs now.
no, they won't be happy. We, on the other hand, are thrilled. Except that we actually have to manufacture the weapons. We don't really have the supplies to do that just yet. We'll get to it as soon as practical. Yeah, all sorts of good stuff that we don't have yet. And next we're gonna do an autopsy on the chrysalid. Nasty little critter.
Presumably, the name chrysalid derives from assumptions made previously about the creature's unusual means of reproduction. Although rumors have long prevailed about the existence of zombies created as a byproduct of the chrysalid gestation, recent reports seem to indicate a new, equally disturbing means of propagating their species.
Yeah, it's repulsive. Okay, so we are just about to make contact. And here we are. Somewhere near Germany. Dankeschön. Guten Tag? Guten Tag.
Signal's coming through clear.
Well, all that remains is flying out to West Asia, making contact with the Russians. And of course, they'll give us more details as to the precise location of the black site. But we have to move on that thing. Certainly judging by Advent's progress with the Avatar project. No time to spare.
Attempting to establish local regional contact. Silas, now operational.
Sweet, we've got the Psi Lab up and running. And I don't have any experience with this. I do know that we need a new recruit to be our guinea pig, our initiate. We can't use any veterans. Nonetheless, we'll deal with that in time. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know Russian. Vodka? Anyone? Vodka? What? And a supply raid. We will certainly not pass up an opportunity to disrupt the enemy supply lines, all the while being able to take some of those supplies for ourselves. And so we will set course out there to the
Eastern U.S. precinct.
eastern United States,
Regional contacts.
and Charlie Squad is on deck to undertake the next operation. So they'll be the ones heading out aboard the Sky Ranger. As is always the case, Charlie Squad is commanded by John Clayton, codenamed Seejay. He'll be taking the Rage Suit, his dual battle axes, and of course a plasma grenade. He is joined in the field as always by Gary Hillsdale, codenamed Bard, taking the battle scanner and a plasma grenade. Also by Dan Richards, codenamed Boot, taking the EMP bomb and a Skulljack. Warren Silas, codenamed MrVein, taking the Mimic Beacon and a plasma grenade. Thomas Trumpet, codenamed Titanium, taking med kits and plasma grenade. And finally, Troy Black, codenamed Blackwidow, taking a plasma grenade, blue screen rounds, and the frost bomb. And so there you have it, Charlie Squad as it stands for this mission. You may board when ready, Charlie.
Sky Ranger deployed.
In position to drop.
Copy, Firebrand. Begin your approach.
We've got a lead on a disabled Advent train that was hit by Resistance operatives working in this area. There's still the potential to recover valuable technology here, so we're moving to capture whatever we can. We'll need to secure the area and remove any hostile forces still defending the train if we're going to make this work.
Well, unbeknownst to us going in, there's been a recent snowfall, so the squad isn't necessarily dressed for Arctic conditions. Instead, they're wearing their default colors. Either way, it doesn't give anybody pause. And so, yeah, we're gonna go, investigate that train and come back with all the loot we can possibly carry aboard the Sky Ranger. Charlie Squad is boots on the ground. So, Seejay will be leading the way, as he is prone to do. He's going to move up about halfway, have a quick glance around, and then proceed to the full extent of his movement capabilities.
I've got enemy movement here.
And we're quite close to the train. I got a few on the grid. Could have sworn I saw the white of a shield bearer and the red of an officer. There's something else out there. Either way, the rest of Charlie Squad is going to move up. Just about in line with their squad leader. Blackwidow bringing up the rear. Okay, yeah, that's going to be a stun lancer, shield bearer, and officer. But wait, there's more. We've got another officer and something else, either a trooper or a stun lancer. Seejay orders Charlie Squad to advance part way, and most of them will be going into Overwatch. Blackwidow will be the exception. Leading by example, CJ's going to move up by this crate and go into Overwatch. He beckons Titanium to join him up there.
That's affirmative.
And Overwatch.
I'm on it.
As to Boot, he is going to use the front corner of this engine as cover. And he too will be going into Overwatch. Bard will be moving up top.
Moving on target location.
Be using this tree as cover. And Overwatch.
Got it covered.
And finally, MrVein will take position nearby Bard. Overwatch. So now Blackwidow will go ahead and exercise a maneuver first utilized by Manzer so long ago during Season 1, and that is to say fixing the enemy with a frost bomb. And he's going to go ahead and do that to these two on the left. So that officer-trooper pairing is fixed.
They're on to us!
Those that are not frozen spring into action. By doing so, they attract fire, first by Seejay, who scores a hit. Bard takes a shot at that officer as well, believe that's a miss. MrVein also misses his mark. The two that are frozen defy logic by pivoting towards us. Let's see. What you gonna do, Advent? The officer's opening fire on Titanium.
They're all over me!
And it's no good, which is altogether good for us. Here comes a stun lancer. Here comes the reaction fire from Boot. He scores a hit. Stun lancer is down. As of the shield bearer, he takes to buffing his surviving allies. So far, so good, folks. In order to negate that buff, I'm gonna take down the shield bearer. And so, Seejay's gonna close in and take it to that guy. Let's see if he can stick it to him. And he does. Lighting the shield bearer on fire as well. Of course, it's not quite enough. So, let us see if MrVein can get in there and do something altogether similar. He surely can, and he will. Hopefully. Yeah, shouldn't have doubted it for a second. Shield bearer is down, drop some gear. Which MrVein will collect. As to Bard, he's going to open fire on that officer. Utilized lightning hands, and it's a miss. Let's see if he can do a little better with his rifle. I'd say that's a lot better. So that leaves us with our popsicle enemies.
Seems doable.
Boot is going to move up. And damn, he doesn't have a shot, so he'll stay put.
On your order.
Titanium will close in. He's got a shot, so he'll take it. And he scores a hit. Blackwidow will move up behind this tree.
On the move.
And he, too, will aim at the officer. Sweet.
Target eliminated.
That leaves one on the grid. One Advent Trooper. The Trooper is thawed out now. And he's going to advance. Bad move on his part. Boot opens fire, scores a hit. The Trooper's returning fire on Titanium.
Fire in this zone.
Fails to connect. And this leaves that trooper open, that is, to a shot by Blackwidow, which is delivered, and the trooper is down. The grid is temporary. I think I just had a stroke, folks. The grid is clear, is what I'm trying so hard to say.
I'm on it.
Okay, Charlie Squad's gonna move up.
On Overwatch.
We'll get MrVein back out of that engine.
Finally.
He says finally. He wasn't in there that long. As the CJ, he's gonna go out the opposite side.
I'm on it.
Just to get a wider field of view.
Covered.
Clear up some of this fog of war. No sooner than he does that than troops appear from the left, that is to say a Codex. Well, it was a Codex, it's down now.
Eliminated.
Courtesy of Boot and Titanium. But the two sectoids that accompanied the Codex are, of course, still standing. Let's see, Blackwidow's gonna reload. He's holding position. He's gonna open fire. It's like that one on the left will be the easier target. Eh,
Adjusting sights.
please do, please do. Of course it is just a couple of sectoids. If anything, they're gonna raise the dead. Bard's lined up a shot. He scores a hit. Boot is gonna go for the same target. No joy.
Adjusting sights. Weapons empty. Can't engage.
Titanium will maneuver. And he'll open fire. He puts down the sectoid. I
Target
believe
neutralized.
that was all he had for that magazine, so yeah, he's Winchester now.
Here I come.
MrVein takes up position. He's gonna fire at this other sectoid. Well, actually, he's gonna toss a grenade. Break up that cover, do a little damage as well. There you have it. Now, Seejay, of course, is on the wrong side of the tracks,
Moving to position.
so he'll take this elevated position and put fire down on that sectoid. No good.
Come on.
About time Seejay misses.
They're starting to lose ground.
And the sectoid is running. No doubt going back for fellow Advent forces. Well, we don't want to lose sight of them. Bard has that battle scanner.
Headed there now.
We'll have him come down off his perch and deploy the scanner. Nothing else. We can see what that sectoid intends to bring up with it. And there's the sectoid. Now it's got nothing. Of course, I do recall
Whatever you
that
say.
in our mission briefing it said that there would be 12 enemy elements on the field.
Ready to rock.
And let's see, we've encountered 8 of them.
Let's rock.
So yeah, there should be 4 more out there, in addition to the sectoid.
Got line. On Overwatch.
And of course, all that intel, that's
I'm all over it.
a result of researching and building the Shadow Chamber. It's a hell of a benefit, I gotta tell you. Well, let's see. I guess we'll move everybody up by Seejay. In essence, we're bracing ourselves for a counterattack,
Got it covered.
which may never materialize, but it's good to be on guard.
Oh yeah. Affirmative.
If it
Covering
doesn't
now.
soon, we will proceed.
I'm on it.
Um,
Affirmative. Covering now.
and actually, you know, CJ is going to order Bard to deploy another battle scanner here momentarily. Ultimately, we just want to know from what direction these remaining Advent forces will be coming from. And is the sectoid in full retreat, or, you know, in other words, is it running just on its own, or is it heading towards other? Yeah, it is heading towards other forces. Oh, damn, folks, it's the Archon King.
Scanning.
This is it.
Got it covered. Scanning.
This is
Scanning.
This is it, folks. Hell. As to how Charlie Squad will react to their first sighting of the Archon King, well, let's have CJ answer that question by deploying a rocket in the midst of the king and its bodyguards.
With pleasure.
With pleasure, he says. With pleasure. And you know, in my estimation, the Archon would pride itself as being one of the more intelligent alien species. And certainly the King would be the apex of said intelligence, seeing as he is the proverbial alpha male of the lot. It has experience fighting XCOM. It's certainly seen Bravo's squad go into self-preservation mode, all the while fighting the Archon King, but at the same time definitely looking out for themselves. It's watched our most elite squad, Alpha, actually back down in the face of its ferocity. Well, Archon King, meet Charlie's squad. Any fear that Van Dorn might have of his troops retreating in front of the Archon King, well, those fears are out the window with Charlie's squad. And so the reaction can be summed up with Seejay's one-word order: engage.
Let's do this. Moving to Overwatch.
MrVein and Blackwidow will break off to the left, attempting a flank, while the rest of the squad stays put, going into Overwatch as well.
Affirmative.
And as much credit as I give the Archon for being intelligent, so far it has failed to react to Seejay's attack.
Overwatch.
Frankly, I don't think that the Archon King knows what the hell is going on. Here we go. Just a slow reaction, that's all. Oh, don't freeze.
Looks like one of them came back for more. Let's make sure to take it out this time.
We'll try, Central. Charlie Squad will certainly try. And they're gonna risk everything to do so. As you can see, the reaction fire is getting mixed results. Some hits, some misses. At least two of those Archons are wounded. Well, scratch that. Maybe just one. Correction, I guess they're all wounded from that initial rocket attack, but the one lowest on the screen was hit during the reaction fire.
Menace 1-5. Watch those supply crates. If you destroy them, there won't be anything left for us to recover once the area is secure.
Big deal. The supply crates are the least of Charlie's concerns. And to give a morale boost to his men, Seejay is going to utilize Rage Strike. Casting aside all caution, he closes in. And he scores a hit, inflicting damage on the Archon King. He's going to follow up with another free move by hurling one of these axes at point blank. And again, he strikes his target. Now, his last move will be a traditional swing. Of course, that will grant the Archon King a reaction. But damn. The Archon King is hurting bad, and it's on fire. So it takes to the skies. And yeah, it'll call down hellfire on our squad. Well, only one person would be able to get out from under that. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. That's a first, showing you the pause screen. Yeah, we're gonna use lightning hands. That thing is just barely hanging on to life. And the hope is that if we can do enough damage, it will negate the Archon King's attack. So, I mean, that was a hit on the part of Bard. Let's see. Actually, you know what? I'm resigned to the fact that everyone's gonna get hurt from this attack. It's not going to get negated, so in fact, we're going to utilize the Mimic Beacon, the attention whore. Yeah, here we go. Salutations, sucker. Oh, yeah, damn.
Fallen toughened them up some, but not enough to handle us. Good work out there. I am eager to begin examining the subject as soon as we can get it back to the lab. We might as well take advantage of Dr. Valen's existing experiments, as I have no intention of trying to replicate them myself.
Commander, that's the last of them. 3 botched science experiments, 3 alien rulers down for the count. At the very least, we know Valen is still out there somewhere, and we picked up some new gear in the process. Not a bad haul, considering.
So let's review. MrVein is down. He's not dead. He's not even bleeding out. He's just unconscious. But our long-standing rivalry with the Archon King has come to an end.
I can handle that.
Having said that, this is far from over. We still have 3 Archons on the grid. And so as you can see, Boot just did damage to one of them. Let's see, Titanium, he wants to get to that downed trooper. Let's get over there to MrVein. Titanium is disoriented. Perhaps that accounts for him going out into the open like that. It should affect his aim too, but nonetheless, he's going to take a shot. Wow, so yeah, the Archon King was on fire. That's why. Just kind of plummeted from the sky. Yes, indeed, its attack still did come. And that attack had various effects on the members of Charlie Squad. Now, Blackwidow's deploying the Frost Bomb on 2 of these Archons. I'm gonna fix them in place. Because, frankly, I mean, we just feel like, these things could still take one of our guys down. We do not want that. So freezing 2 of them, I think, is a good move. This one's going after the Mimic Beacon, fortunately. Salutations, sucker. And yeah, the Mimic Beacon's voice probably sounds awful familiar.
Too close to the heat.
It's an attention whore that strikes close to home. Wow, I don't consider myself a real attention whore. I am a YouTube content creator, so take that for what it's worth. Anyways, Blackwidow's going to take a shot at this frozen Archon. And adios, Archon.
X-ray neutralized.
That leaves 2 on the grid. Bard's gonna fire at this, not frozen Archon. It's good. Ticks the thing off. Let's see if Boot can piss it off further. And he can. And he does.
On reserves.
So Titanium's gonna take a shot. Well, actually, he's still a little dizzy from that Archon King's attack. Well, you know, why the hell not? Maybe he'll just fire anyhow. Yeah, he'll go ahead and fire anyways. Yeah, probably shouldn't have.
That is not good.
Oh well. You know, Seejay just wants to be done with it, so he's gonna close in and finish this thing off. Oh, he hits, but no, he doesn't finish it off. Well, it is burning. So yeah, he does finish it off after all. Another delayed reaction. That leaves 1 Archon on the grid. And it takes to the skies. Yeah, no doubt, calling in death from above. But seeing as it's a mere Archon and not the King, this this offers us the chance to get out from under those beams of death. So yeah, Blackwidow will lead the way in doing just that. He'll move, and of course fire. No joy.
Adjusting aim. My ammo's running low.
Ah, Bard. Bard will take a shot. Bingo. As the boot, he will move.
Seems doable.
And he'll fire. Or actually, rather than fire, he's gonna go for some guaranteed damage with combat protocol. Deploying his gremlin to shock the hell out of that Archon. Shocked it, but that's just not quite enough. Okay, as the time, well, yeah, let's... You know, Titanium's sick of seeing his squad mate laying there unconscious in the snow. So he's gonna do something about that. Yeah, he's reviving MrVein. Grateful to be alive, MrVein's taking a shot.
That is not good.
It's a miss. Oh, he's still a little groggy, probably.
On your order.
Okay, Seejay. End this. Thank you.
Hostile terminated. Status confirmed. All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Thank you, Charlie Squad. That was long awaited. While in transit back to the Avenger, Boot can't help but ask aloud, is that all there was to the Archon King? I mean, is that what so frightened Alpha and Bravo Squad? Is that really what all the hype was about? But he's swiftly reminded by Blackwidow that when Charlie first saw the Archon King, that creature was nursing its wounds. It was already seriously injured from its previous encounters with Bravo and Alpha Squad. And this is not to diminish Charlie Squad's role in the downfall of the Archon King. They did kill the creature, but Alpha and Bravo did their part as well. And in fact, I'd like to think that somewhere out there, presumably with a fire axis resistance cell, Javier Valdez has gotten wind of the downfall of the Archon King. His nemesis, well, aside from Van Dorn. Anyways, we've got 2 promotions to dole out. The first goes to Seejay. And, yeah, he's not taking deep cover. He's going for unstoppable. And the next promotion goes to MrVein. And in the process, he picks up covering fire, which is altogether a good deal. He's also going to take running gun. As you can see, he's also growing his hair out again. Ultimately, he wants to get back to those dreadlocks. Hell yeah.
Now that we have recovered one of Dr. Valen's test subjects, I can begin an autopsy on the specimen as soon as you give the order, Commander.
Yeah, I'd like you to cut that thing up. So yeah, we brought back a lot of gear. If you want to peruse it yourself, just go ahead and pause. But we're going to move on. It's a nice haul, though. Nice haul indeed. And while we were on our mission, we concluded the autopsy on the chrysalid. So, we're gonna, turn over to there and take a look at the results of that.
Even my own intellectual curiosity is not enough to overcome my doubts as to whether or not it was really a wise decision for our troops to bring this particular specimen on board the ship.
Well, they did. It's all good. Should the ship become plagued with zombies, then maybe we'd consider that move regrettable. Anyhow, our next area of research will indeed be the Archon King autopsy.
I have always been particularly fascinated with this species, ever since the first time I spotted one during my travels. Although I had seen the biomechanical horrors deployed by the aliens during the initial invasion, these creatures appeared to be something else entirely. Possessing a certain flair, not typically found amongst the aliens, I found this creature to be of great intelligence, masked by the incredible hold of the Elders.
There we go. You know, when I was giving Seejay his promotion, did I call untouchable unstoppable? I think I did. Oh well. Potato, potato, sue me. It's just, hey, sometimes I misspeak. What can I say? Anyhow. Oh, here we have Otto and J-Bone sitting there talking. Maybe she's, opening up to the idea of, a world with her and him as a couple? I don't know. Maybe. And Manny's just been working out over there since the beginning of the episode. Hell yeah, man. Man, he's had a tough time recently trying to plead for Major Valdez, and Van Dorn won that dispute. Anyhow, that'll bring us to the end of the episode. This is Automatic for Automatic Games. As always, I appreciate you watching. If you like this,